the light. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Jeanette and I am a high vibrational being, and I'm back with another message. Only take the message as it resonates and leave the rest behind. Just know all the messages will not resonate with everyone, so use your own discernment when you watch my videos. I am charging my phone, so I'm charging my phone, so that's why I'm far distance. I thought I had my phone off. All of a sudden, my battery is low, and my phone is on. Just weird, but it is what it is. 1 second. Oh, did I bring my notebook? I didn't bring my notebook. I had a message in my notebook. I didn't bring it. I guess tomorrow's another day, so I will bring my notebook tomorrow, put it in my bag. I thought I brought it and I didn't bring it. So for those who don't know me, I am a very high vibrational being. I am connected to the Most High God. I have cleared out all of my karma and trauma, and I am always doing energy work. I'm always healing. I'm always releasing things that no longer serve me. I am always, always, always in prayer. Always, always with God. I am always, always with God. I am never alone, even though I walk the street alone, or I may walk the street with people, but I'm never alone. I am always, always, always with my spiritual team. They're always guiding me, and I'm always very well protected. I am an ancient old soul who has reincarnated on this planet at this time. For those who believe in reincarnations, I had an ancient past life of Egyptian royalty, so I am BCE, okay, in that era, and I am back to help the collective raise their consciousness. I receive messages through my dreams, visions, third eye. I hear, I get them from the books. I get messages from anything and anywhere, because we are all connected. So I receive the messages from the universe. So I'm very thankful. I did bring again, I think the art of WAR is very important on how to fight your battles, and in a very productive and in a very peaceful way. And in this book, The Art of WAR is from Sun Tzu. I also have some oracle cards, and I am going to start reading. I got this today from the church I go to, the four agreements. So great book to have. Let's see if I could they have the four agreement card decks as well. It's very interesting. Let's see if I could pick out a page in this book. Maybe there is a message, but let's do this first. The Art of War. I just want to call in my father to please come into my channel, help me channel the messages that I need to channel to the collective at this time. Calling the white light to come into my vessel, protect me against all entities that is not of the highest good. Calling my archangels, my ascended masters, my galactic family, my deities, everyone who is of the highest white light that is connected to me. I call upon your energy to please be with me, protect me, and of the collective, protect them from, I'm not going to say because I don't like to manifest this energy. So, but we are protected. Just know, no weapon formed against you shall ever prosper. Once you put on your full armor of Jesus, just know that you are always protected. Always, always protected. I didn't, just wanted to double make sure I didn't bring the book. I didn't bring my notebook. I like to start off with prayer, but it's okay. Let's just move forward and see where. Okay, let's see. The art of war. Let's see what do I want to start. Strategic assessment. Let's do strategic adjustment. Let's read that. Number one, the art of war. Military action is important to the nations. It is the ground of DEATH and life, the path of survival and destruction. So it is imperative to examine it. This is Li Kuan. Military actions is auspicious. It is only considered important because it is a matter of life and death, and there is the possibility that it may be taken up lightly. Dumu, the survival or destruction of a country and the life or death of its people may depend on military action. Okay, we're calling upon we slay these people, we slay the demons, okay? Slay them. Have no power. No power over the divine, okay? So, therefore, military action is called the ground of DAN, death and life. The path means way to adjust to the situation and establish victory. Find this and you survive. Lose this and you perish. Find the path. The path means the way to adjust to the situation and to establish victory. Find this and you survive. But you lose this, you will perish. Therefore, it is said it's imperative to examine it. An ancient document says there is a way of survival which helps and strengthens you. There is a way of destruction which pushes you into oblivion. So there's a way to survive and there's a way of there's both sides. One, there's destruction and one is there survival. You choose your path. Whether you live or whether you die depends on the configuration of the battleground. Whether you survive or perish depends on the way of battle, as on the way that you deal with life itself, on the way how you survive in a world of where there's conflict and where you want to find peace. Therefore, Master Sun, measure in terms of 5 things to use these assessments to make comparisons and thus find out what the conditions are. The 5 things are the way, the weather, the terrain, the leadership, and discipline. I think I went over this before. Dumu, 5 things are to be assessed. The way, the weather, the lay of the land, the leadership, and discipline. These are to be assessed at headquarters. First, assess yourself. Always assess yourself and your opponent in terms of these five things, deciding who is superior. Then you could determine who is likely to prevail. Having determined this, only then should you mobilize your forces. Coco. Assessment of the following items are to be made at the headquarters. Leadership, the leadership, the opponent, the terrain, the troop, strength, distance, and danger. Wang Ying Z assesses the leadership, the environmental condition, discipline, troops, officers, and systems of rewards and punishments. Zhang Hu, Master Gan said that the assessment should be made at home before sending troops aboard. Assessments are the first order of business in military operations. I guess you militaries should know how to do this, but I am not doing this to. I think the art of war is also within us in how we deal with the conflict ourselves. How we assess ourselves as leaders, how we look at our environment, how we defend ourselves and not let the opponent try to beat us at our best. So when you have the full armor of the Most High God, ain't no weapon, ain't no army, ain't nothing that is going to come and try to tear down your territory, tear down your temple. This is your vessel, your body, your mind, your connection with the Most High. I'm not getting it I'm getting it from spirit. We have to be very aware and mindful of how we also lead as leaders. 333 on the clock. Discipline means that the regulations are strict and clear. The reason that leadership and discipline come last in this list of that whenever you mobilize to go against an opponent, those who have done you wrong, it is necessary to first look into the matter of whether you are appreciated and trusted by your own people. Then to assess the favorable and otherwise of weather conditions. This is all in the battleground. But my battleground is the outside sources, the people, places, and things. How do you deal with that sort of environment? You have to learn how to pick your fight. But I wouldn't fight. There's ways of doing this very strategically without hurting a human being. It's really like letting go of things that no longer serve you. It's really like healing yourself and going within, connecting to God. Let's see where this book is going to take me. A Practical Guide to Personal Freedom. This is the 4 elements. The first agreement. Wow. Page 25. Spirit just guided me to page 25. The first agreement is the most important one and also the most difficult one to honor. It is so important that with just this first agreement, you will be able to transcend to the level of existence I call heaven on earth. The first agreement is to be impeccable with your words. You have to learn how to speak. It sounds very simple, but it's very, very powerful. Why your words is very, why your words, why it's important to watch the way we speak is because your words is very powerful that you have to create. Your words is the gift that comes directly from God. The Gospel of John in the Bible, speaking of the creation of the universe, says, in the beginning was the Word. Thank you, Spirit. And the Word was with God, and God is. And the Word is God. Through the Word, you express your creative power. It is through the Word you manifest everything. Regardless of what language you speak, your intent manifests through the Word. What you dream, what you feel, and what you really are will all be manifested through the Word. The Word is not just a sound or a written symbol. The Word is a force. It is the power you have to express and communicate, to think, and thereby to create the events in your life. You can speak what other animals on the planet can speak, what other animals speak. The word is more powerful. If the word is the most powerful tool you have as a human, it is the tool of magic. But like a sword of two edges, your words can create the most beautiful dream, and your words can destroy everything around you. One edge is the misuse of the word, which creates a living hell. The other edge is the implacability of the words, which will only create beauty, love, and heaven on earth. Depending on how it is used, the word can set you free, or it can enslave you even more than you know. All the magic you possess, all the magic you possess is based on your word. Your word is pure magic, and misuse of your word is black magic. The word is powerful. That one word can change a life or destroy the lives of millions of people. So many years ago, one man in Germany, by the use of the word, manipulated a whole country of the most intelligent people. You know who that was, right? He held them into the world of WAR with just the power of his word. He convinced others to commit the most atrocious act of violence. He activated people's fear with the word, and like a big explosion, there was murking and WAR all around the world. All around, all over the world, humans destroyed other humans because they were afraid of each other. Hitler's words, based on fear-generated belief and agreements, will be remembered for centuries. The human mind is like a fertile ground where seeds are continually being planted. One second. Okay, sorry, just got a message. Okay, the word is like a seed, and the human mind is so fertile. The only problem is that too often it is fertile for the seeds of fear. Every human mind is fertile, but only for those kinds of seed it is prepared for. What is important is to see which kind of seeds your mind is fertile for and to prepare it to receive the seeds of love. Always make sure that you're planting seeds of love. When you plant this, like this man did, Hitler, he really put fear in people's minds. And I believe they're trying to do this. Don't. You are very powerful beings. Do not allow this to happen to you again. Make sure that you are putting out words of love to one another and not of darkness, because that is dark magic. That is, it's said in here. When you, words are spells, make sure that you are putting out beautiful words to the collective. Take the example of Hitler. He sent out all those seeds of fear, and they grew very strong and beautifully, achieved massive destruction. Seeing the awesome power of the word, we must understand what power comes out of our mouths. One fear or doubt planted in your mind can create an endless drama of events. Make sure you are planting positive seeds. One word is like a spell, and humans use the word like black magicians, thoughtlessly putting spells on each other. Every human is a magician, and we can either put a spell on someone with words, or we can release someone. Nope. No, you can't do that. No. If he listens to the word and if he agrees, he will have. Oh, I see. Okay, I'm sorry. I skipped. If I see what kind of color in. I see that kind of color in your face in people who are going to get the C word. I don't want to say it. The C word, you know, the C word, CANCER, in less than 1 year. That is a very powerful, that is the power of the word. During our domestication, our parents and siblings gave their opinion about us without even thinking. I remember there were times my mother would say things that were not very pleasant to me. And I carried that for a very long time in my life until I started to receive treatment, mental health treatment, because our parents didn't know better. They went with what they were taught. We believed these opinions, and we lived in fear over these opinions, like not being good at swimming or sports or writing. Someone gives an opinion and says, "Look, this girl is ugly." The girl listens, believes she is ugly, and grow up with the idea that she is ugly. It doesn't matter how beautiful she is, as long as she has the agreement, she will believe that she is ugly. When you agree that you're ugly and you keep, believing that whatever other people's opinions about you is played in your mind, and you play it over and over again, then you are activating that energy within you. You start to believe these things. No, you reprogram your mind all over again and say how beautiful you are. You are a beautiful writer. You are successful. You are healthy. You are positive affirmations. That is the spell she is under. By hooking our attention, the word can enter our mind and change a whole belief, for better or for worse. Another example is, you may believe you're stupid, because Men, even girls, your friends call you stupid. He's like, maybe I am stupid. No, you're not. It's their opinion. Don't fall for the negative energy. Make sure that you are, I'm like, I'm not stupid. I'm like, why would somebody even call you out your name? You know who you are. Don't ever allow anybody to call you out your name. You're smart, you're successful, you're able to create whatever you want to create in your life. When you create it, you make sure you create it from a space of love. Never create anything out of anger, out of pain, out of hurt, out of anger. Make sure you're coming from a space of love, because whatever you're putting out in this world is really not only for yourself, you're doing it to other people as well. And you may believe that you're super for a long time. Remember, this agreement can be a very tricky, causing you to do a lot of things just to ensure that you are, and I don't even like to say the word stupid. I don't like to say those words because nobody is stupid. Nobody is stupid. Like, it's just your frame of thinking. People tend to program your mind like that. Make sure you program you're smart, you're successful, and you will be successful. You may do something and think to yourself, I wish I were smart, but I must be stupid, or I wouldn't have done that. The mind goes in hundreds of different directions. If you're not balanced and if you're not stable, you're always in this world, in this space in your head that is thinking thousands and thousands of things, which really doesn't help you. And you could spend days getting hooked by just that one belief in your, it's just one thing that somebody says to you. You're the whole entire week, maybe years, you're still on that same program. It's like, no. Let's be mindful. Let's come back. Let's center ourselves. Let's go do some work on ourselves so that way we are able to put positive energy into ourselves and put it into the world. There's no more of these dark energies that is going to continue to destroy our planet anymore. We are here to help. We are here to bring light to where there is the darkness is within us. It's within us. We need to heal ourselves, plant better seeds. Know that we are worthy enough. Then it continues to go on and says, then one day somebody hooks your attention by using the word, lets you know that you're not stupid. You believe what that person says and make a new agreement. It's discernment. Be very discerning with the energies that you are taking in. Do not agree to something that doesn't benefit you. Who is telling you these things? Who is bringing out these energies to you? Is this person of a high vibration, or is this person of a low vibration? Does this person want good for you, or does this person wants you to fail? Doesn't believe in you? Be very discerning. Be very careful with, again, agreeing, giving permission to people on their opinions about you. Nobody has, I don't care what anybody say. Whatever opinions you got, that's your opinion. I know who I am. I know my truth and I stand in my power. That's how you slay demons, okay? That's how you slay them, Okay? They will never come near you. They will never have power over you. As a result, you no longer feel or act stupid. A whole spell is broken just by the power of the word. Conversely, if you believe you're stupid and somebody hooks your attention and says, yes, you really are the most stupid person I have ever met, the agreement will be reinforced and become even stronger. Now let's see what the word impeccability means. Impeccability means without sin. Without sin. Impeccable comes from the Latin peccatus, which means sin. Peccatus is pecado. Pecado in Spanish is sin. Pecado. When we sin, the im and in impeccable means without. So impeccable means without sin. Religious talks about sin and sinners, but let's understand what it really means to sin. A sin is always what you do which goes against yourself. That's sin, which goes against yourself. Everything you feel or believe or say that goes against yourself is a sin. You go against yourself when you judge and blame yourself for everything. Being without sin is exactly the opposite. Being impeccable is not going against yourself. When you are impeccable, you take responsibility for your actions. Take responsibilities for your actions. Yes, I lied. I'm sorry. Yes, I did that to you. I'm so sorry. I am not perfect. Speak your truth. Release all the sins that you have committed. Stand in your light. But you do not judge or blame yourself. Don't ever judge or blame yourself. Don't ever do that. I had to learn that myself as well. From this point of view, the whole concept of sin changes from something moral or religious to something common sense. Sin begins with rejection of yourself. Self-rejection is the biggest sin that you commit. In religious terms, self-rejection is a mortal sin which leads to death. Impeccability, on the other hand, leads to life. Don't you want to live? Don't you want to live? Don't you want to see your children, your grandchildren? Don't you want to leave a beautiful legacy behind? Don't you want to be known as a being that turned their life around, that has, I don't know, for myself, I don't care what anybody, this is for me, for myself, turning my life around, walking the path, walking the spiritual path that God sent his only son down to this earth to show and to take and to sacrifice him for our sins, and know that we could reach a higher level of consciousness because of what God did when he sent down his only son, Jesus. Be impeccable with your words is not using the words against yourself. If I see you in the street and I call you stupid, it appears that I'm using the words against you. But really, I'm using my words against myself. When somebody calls you a word, they're calling themselves. Yesterday, somebody called me a word. I didn't take it personal. They were called, that's how they see themselves. Because you're going, but really, I'm using my words against myself because you're going to hate me for this thing. And you're hating me is not good for me. Therefore, I get angry. Some people get angry because they don't know how to deal with their emotions. If I get angry and deal with my words, send all that emotion poison to you. People project their insecurity. They project because they're angry. They don't know where to throw it off, so they throw it off at another person. But in reality, they're really throwing it at themselves. Do not take it personal. I am using the words against myself. If I love myself, I will express that love in my interactions with you. When I'm being, and then when I'm being impeccable with the words, because that action will produce a reaction. If I love you, then you will love me. If I insult you, you will insult me. If I have gratitude for you, you will have gratitude for me. If I'm selfish with you, you'll be selfish with me. If I use the words to put a spell on you, you're going to, not everybody puts a spell on other people. Not everybody does that. Being impeccable with your words is the correct use of your energy. It means to use your energy in the direction of truth and love for yourself. If you make an agreement with yourself to be impeccable with your words, just with that intention, the truth will manifest through you and clean all the emotional poison that exists within you. And clean all the, sorry. But making this agreement is difficult because we have learned to do precisely the opposite. We have learned to lie as a habit of our communication with others and more importantly with ourselves. When you lie to others, you're lying to yourself. We are not impeccable with the words. The power of words is completely misused in hell. We use the words to cause, to blame, to find guilt, to destroy. Of course, we also use it in the right way, but not too often. I wonder what are the words that will be used tonight in this debate when we have it with these two, or I don't know how many people are going to be in the debate tonight, but I wonder the words, the language that each opponent will be using. I hope and pray at least one will use words of kindness, use words of uplifting, use words to encourage, and how you say, because when you work with a space of love, you dispel all the negative energy. That energy doesn't filter into other people's minds. Only those who would allow it, who would agree to accept the poison that is being put out into the world. There needs to be a better way on how to communicate with one another. There has to be a better way where leaders will lead in a space where their, how you say it, their mission, their leadership to help humanity, to uplift them, will produce changes. Mostly we use the words to spread our personal poison, to express anger, jealousy, envy, and hate. The word is pure magic. The most powerful gift we have as humans, and we use it against ourselves. We plan revenge. We create chaos in the word. We use the words to create hate between different races, between different people, between families, and between nations. We misuse the word so often, and this misuse is how we create and perpetuate the dream of hell. Misuse of words, the word is how we put each other down. Let's not put each other down. Let's uplift each other. There's enough of this poison that has been put on our planet. Parents who have spoken to their children, who has created these children not to love themselves. When you're not healed, you put out this energy to your children. You put it out to the collective. But know that you're a hurt being and you need help. And we're not here to judge. We're here to help you. Help you understand what you are doing through the words that you're using. Those who are also creating content, and you called yourself a spiritual leader, you call yourself a divine being, you call yourself a messenger of the Most High God. God delivers messages to make sure that changes within yourself is being done first, and then as you will send it out to the collective. You got to make sure that you are healed before you're putting poison out into this world. We don't need that anymore. We need to be uplifted. We want a world for our children that is going to create love, where everything works together, not against each other, where groups of religion, groups of different cultures, we are all together, and we don't look at each other because of the color of our skin. We don't look at each other because of the practice that I do as a spiritual person. Whether I'm a priest, whether I'm a nun, whether I am a oracle, a psychic, it doesn't matter. As long as the message is being sent of the divine God who created us to uplift the world. We have to be careful with magic, the words. Because the words is the magic that human possesses, and misuse of the word is black magic. We are using black magic all the time without knowing that our words is magic at all. There is a woman, for example, who was intelligent and had a very good heart. She had a daughter whom she adored and loved very much. One night she came home from a very bad day at work, tired, full of emotion, tensions, and with a terrible headache. She wanted peace and quiet, but her daughter was unaware of how her mother was feeling. She was in her own world, in her own dream. She felt so wonderful, and she was jumping and singing louder and louder and expressing her joy and her love. When she was singing so loud, it made her mother's headache even worse. And at a certain moment, the mother lost control. Angrily, she looked at her beautiful little girl and said, "Shut up. You have an ugly voice. Can you just shut up?" The truth is, the mother's tolerance for any noise was non-existent. It was not the little girl's voice was ugly. It was not that the little girl's voice was ugly, but the daughter believed what her mother said. And in the moment she made an agreement with herself, after that she no longer sang because she believed her voice was ugly and would bother anyone who heard it. She became shy at school, and if she was asked to sing, she refused. This is the power. Even speaking to others became difficult for her. Everything changed in the little girl because of this new agreement. She believed she must repress her emotions in order to accept and be loved. Whenever we hear an opinion and believe it, we make an agreement. And it becomes part of our belief system. This little girl grew up, and even though she had a beautiful voice, she never gave up. She never sang again. She developed a whole complex from one spell. The spell was cast upon her by one who loved her the most, her own mother. Her mother didn't notice what she did with her word. She didn't notice that she used black magic and put a spell on her daughter. She didn't know the power of her word, and therefore she isn't to blame. She did what her own mother and father and others had done to her in many ways. They misused the words. That's why we have to be very careful. We cannot blame other people. We have to take responsibility for our own actions. We have to know that we were programmed at one time to do this. How many times do we do this with our own children? We give them these types of opinions, and our children carry that black magic for years and years. People who love us do black magic on us, but they don't know what they do. God said, forgive them, for they not know what they do, right? Forgive. That is why we must forgive. Forgive them, for they don't know what they do. Another example, you wake up in the morning feeling very happy. You feel so wonderful. You stay 1 or 2 hours in front of the mirror making yourself beautiful. Well, one of your best friends says, what happened to you? You look so ugly. It's like, that's your friend. You look so ugly. Look at your dress you're wearing. You look ridiculous. That's it. That's enough to put you all the way down to hell. Maybe this girlfriend just told you this to hurt you. And she did. She gave you an opinion with all the power of her word behind it. If you accept the opinion, it becomes an agreement. Now, and you put all the power into that opinion. You give people the power. You're the one giving people the power and agreeing on what the other person is thinking about you. Who cares what anybody thinks about you? As long as you feel good, as long as you know who you are, nobody's opinion should even bother you. Shouldn't even take that energy in. These types of spells are difficult to break. The only thing that can break a spell is to make a new agreement based on truth. The truth is the most important part of being impeccable with words. On one side of the sword are the lies which create black magic, and on the other side of the sword is the truth. You know the double-edged sword? Do you know the double swords of how you say the two of swords in tarot as well, blinded, right? She's blinded, but she has the two double-edged swords, right? She has the sword of truth and the sword of lie. Only the truth will set you free. Looking at everyday human interactions, imagine how many times we cast spells on each other with our words. Every time this interaction has become the worst form of black magic, and we call it gossip. Gossip is black magic. It's the worst. It's the worst because it is pure poison. We learn how to gossip by agreement. When we are children, we heard the adults around us gossiping all the time, openly giving their opinions to other people. Then they even have opinions about the people they didn't even know. How you go around talking about people you don't even know? How you go around casting spells on somebody that you don't even know? Speaking lies. This is going on a lot. A lot. Be careful with your words. Be careful how you manifest things in life for yourself. Because this is what you're doing in your life. That's why we have to watch our words and how we communicate to one another. We have to communicate clear, precise, and in the space of love. So that energy could come right, whatever you put out is coming right back to you. They even have appointments about opinions about people they don't even know. Emotional poison was transferred along with the opinions. And we learn this as the normal way to communicate. Gossiping has become the main form of communication in human society. It has become the way we feel close to each other because it makes us feel better to see someone else feel as badly as we do. I don't want nobody to feel bad. I don't ever want I like to uplift people. I don't like to bring them down. I don't want somebody to constantly come into my energy and talking down, and I do not accept. I do not allow that energy around me. If I see somebody is doing it, I will try to correct them, and if they continuously do it, I cannot be around you. It says misery likes company, and people who are suffering in hell don't want to be alone. Fear and suffering are an important part of the dream of the planet. They are how to dream of the planet keeps us down. They are how the dream of the planet keeps us down. I don't like the words. I think it could be used better. Using the analogy of human mind as a computer, gossip can be compared to a computer virus. A computer virus is a piece of computer language written in the same language all the other codes are written in, but with harmful intent. The code is inserted into the program of your computer when you least expect it, and most of the time without your awareness. After this code has been introduced, your computer doesn't quite work right or doesn't function at all because the codes get mixed up with so many conflicting messages that it stops producing good results. Let's see, how long do I have? Oh, I may have this room for another, I don't know. So, human gossip works exactly the same way. For example, you are beginning a new class with a new teacher and you have looked forward to it. for a long time. You had looked forward for a long time. On the first day of class, you run into somebody who took the class before, who tells you, oh, that instructor was such a pompous jerk. He didn't know what he was talking about, and he was a, a pervert too. So watch out. This is gossip. You are immediately imprinted the word and the emotional code that person had when saying this. But you are aware of his or her motivations. Sorry for the noise. In telling you, this person could be angry for failing the class or simply making an assumption based on fears and prejudice. But because you have learned to ingest information like a child, some part of you believes the gossip. And you go to the class. As the teacher speaks, you feel the poison come up inside of you, and you don't know how to, you don't realize you see the teacher through the eyes of the person who gave you that gossip. Then you start talking to other people in the classroom about this. And they start to see the teacher in the same way as a jerk or a pervert. You really hate the class, and as soon as you decide to drop out, you blame the teacher, but it is the gossip that it is to blame. All the all of this mess may be caused by one little computer virus, one little piece of misinformation that can break down communication between people, causing every person it touches to become infected and contagious to others. Imagine that every single time others gossip to you, they insert a computer virus into your mind, causing you to think a little less clearly every time. Then imagine that in the effort to clean up your own confusion and get some relief from the poison, you gossip and spread these viruses to somebody else. Now imagine this pattern going on in a never-ending chain between all humans on Earth. The result is a world full of humans who can only read information through circuits that clot with a poisonous, contagious virus. Once again, this poison virus is what the text called the mitut, the chaos of 1,000 different voices all trying to talk at once in the mind. Even worse are the black magicians or computer hackers who intentionally spread viruses. Think back to a time when you or someone you knew was angry with someone else and desired revenge. In order to seek revenge, you said something to or about the person with the intentions of spreading poison and making that person feel bad about him or herself. As children, we do this quite thoughtlessly. As grown older, but as we grow older, we become more and more calculated in our efforts to bring other people down. Then we lie to ourselves and say that person received a just punishment for their wrongdoing. When we see the world through a computer virus, it is easy to justify the cruelest behavior. What we don't see is that the misuse of our words is putting us into a deeper hell. I'm going to try to finish this. For years, we have received the gossip and spells from the words of others, but also from the way we use our words with ourselves. We talk to ourselves constantly, and most of the time we say things like, oh, I look fat, I look ugly. I'm getting old. I'm losing my hair. I'm stupid. I never understand anything. I will never be good enough. I am never going to be perfect. Do you see how we use the words against ourselves? We must begin to understand what the word is and what the word does. If you understand the first agreement, be impeccable with your word, you begin to see all things. You begin to see all the changes that can happen in your life. Changes first in the way you deal with yourself and later in the way you deal with other people, especially those you love the most. Consider how many times you have gossiped about the person you love the most to gain the support of others for your point of view. We all guilty of that. How many times have you hooked other people's attentions and spread poison about your loved ones in order to make your opinions right? We are all guilty of that. Your opinion is nothing but a point of view. It is not necessarily true. Your opinions come from your beliefs, your own ego, and your own dream. We create all this poison and spread it to others so we can feel right about our own point of view. If we adopt the first agreement and become impeccable with our words, any emotional poison will eventually be cleaned from our minds and from our communication and in our personal relationships, including our pets or cat. Impeccability is the word. Impeccability of the word will also give you immunity from anyone putting a negative spell on you. You will only receive a negative idea in your mind if your mind is fertile ground for that idea. When you become impeccable with your words, your mind is no longer a fertile ground for words that comes from black magic. Instead, it is fertile for the words that come from love. You can measure the implicability of your word by your level of self-love. How many of you love yourself? And how you feel about yourself are directly proportionate to the quality and integrity of your word. When you are impeccable with your word, you feel good and you feel happy and at peace. You can transcend the dream of hell just by making the agreement to be impeccable with your word. Right now, I am planting that seed in your mind. Whether or not the seed grows depends on how fertile your mind is for the seed of love. It is up to you to make this agreement with yourself. I am impeccable with my words. Nurture the seed, and as it grows in your mind, it will generate more seeds of love to replace the seeds of fear. This first agreement will change the kind of seeds your mind is fertile for. Be impeccable with your word. This is the first agreement that you should make if you want to be free. If you want to be happy, if you want to transcend the level of existence that is hell. It is very powerful. Use the word in the correct way. Use the word to share your love. Use white magic beginning with yourself. Tell yourself how wonderful you are, how great you are. Tell yourself how much you love yourself. Use the words to break all those teeny tiny agreements that makes you suffer. It is possible. It is possible because I did it. And I am no better than you. No, we are exactly the same. We have the same kind of brain, the same kind of bodies. We are humans. If I was able to break those agreements and create new agreements, then you can do the same. If I can be impeccable with my word, why not you? Just this one agreement can change your whole life. Impeccability of the word can lead you to personal freedom, to huge success and abundance. It can take away all fear and transform it into joy and love. Just imagine what you can create with impeccability of the word. With the impeccability of the word, you can transcend the dream of fear and live a different life. You can live in heaven in the middle of thousands of people living in hell because you are immune to that hell. You can attain the kingdom of heaven from this one agreement. Be impeccable with your words. That is the first. I love this and I'm so happy. Spirit, I'm so happy that this book was given to me today. I always wanted to read it. I didn't think I would need to read this book, but I always saw it at Barnes and Noble. Some reason I never got it, maybe because God knew I was going to get it one day. It's like I got chills. I have lots of chills. I work with spirits, obviously. I'm very thankful. I'm very humble. We have to be very careful with the words that we use. We have to make sure that the agreements that we are taking in resonates with our hearts. The agreements that we take in within our being is of the most highest. We don't consent to other people's opinions about who we are. Know who you are, love yourself. Always practice positive affirmations. Wake up every morning, look at yourself, look how beautiful you are. Whatever our parents have told us about who we are, forgive them, for they did not know. They had no idea that they were using black magic. They had no idea of what they were using. I love you all. Once again, the 4 agreements, we did 1. I will come back tomorrow and do the 2nd agreement. I love this book. I think the collective will benefit from this book. And it was written by Don Miguel Ruiz. Be impeccable with your words. Don't take anything personally. Don't make assumptions. And always do your best. Those are the 4 agreements. Always do your best. Don't take things personally. I love you all. Namaste. Have a blessed day. And I thank you all for being here. Please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to my channel. My name is Jeanette, and I am a high vibrational being. And my Cash App is $BELIEVE 201. Or if you want to donate to my other Cash App is JS, capital JS, BELIEVES. You know the $. Namaste. Slay those demons, okay? I love you guys. Namaste. Bye.